So Ubisoft is an interesting company. They make some pretty decent games, I have to admit. However, every once in a while they tend to do something that pisses off their audience. And today's news comes as no exception to that rule. So I thought let's go over what Ubisoft is doing, why some people say this is advocating for piracy, and we'll talk about the future of online gaming, retro games, and how single-player games are also affected. So let's dive right into what Ubisoft is doing. So according to this article on xdadevelopers.com, Ubisoft to disable online services and DLC activation for some of its older games, even if you bought them at full price. So to me, it sounds like they're going to say screw you to the customer, regardless when you bought these games. If you're a fan of some older Ubisoft titles, it might be worth taking a look at your back catalog and downloading some of the games while there's still time. The company has announced that come September 1st, 2022, only a couple months away, a number of its titles will no longer be able to access the internet. That means not only will those games lose multiplayer capabilities, but it also means that any games that have DLC that needs to be activated online will no longer be accessible following that date. What I think they're saying is that the DLC that you bought, that you paid money for, will not be available for any of these games that they're talking about. And not only the DLC, but any online features whatsoever. So what games do we have here? Anno 2070, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 3, the remaster not affected, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Liberation HD, Revelations, Driver San Francisco, Far Cry 3, though the remaster is not effective, Ghost Recon Future Soldier, Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands, Rayman Legends, the Space Junkies, the entire game will be unavailable, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and Zombie U. Now, to be fair, I've only played a handful of these games, Rayman Legends, Zombie U. I've never played any of the Far Cry or Assassin's Creed games. I know I'm behind. Assassin's Creed is supposed to be great. Now, Zombie U I've played on the Wii U. I thought it was kind of a subpar game. I didn't really get into it much more than an hour or two into the game. Who knows, maybe it could wow me later on, but apparently now it's not going to get much of a chance because the online features are down and you can no longer link an account. I'm not a huge online gamer, but I am upset about the DLC thing because DLC is, let's say you have a single player experience and you want to enjoy more of that. The DLC is a nice feature to have to keep your adventure going. Anyway, let's move on. At any time, companies can and likely will revoke access to your games, even if it's decades down the line. Your favorite games now that require online services to activate will one day no longer be playable. See, now this is something that keeps me as a retro gamer. I really enjoy my retro games, and a lot of that has to do with no online bullshit, right? Like you just get to put in your game and enjoy the game as it was intended to be played. A lot of times these games are not finished anymore. Retro games usually finished, and if not, you learn to deal with those inconsistencies in the game as features. I think that having your game taken away, stripped away once you've paid for it, it's just not cool. It's not a good thing for the gaming industry. You know, it's a good thing to line these publishers' pockets maybe. Basically, they're saying that nobody's playing these games online, and it's using valuable resources that they could use towards things that people are playing. And that's a possibility. You know, people are downsizing because of inflation and things like that. The same can be said of cloud gaming platforms, which Ubisoft has been a massive proponent of. What's particularly egregious is that this instance, Ubisoft is entirely removing Assassin's Creed Liberation HD from Steam after putting it on sale for the summer Steam sale. Owners of this game won't be able to continue playing it either. Silent Hunter 5 displays the same message on the Steam page, and it shows Assassin's Creed here. Check out the entire Assassin's Creed franchise on Steam, but notice at the request of the publisher, Assassin's Creed Liberation HD is no longer available for sale on Steam. And please note this title will not be accessible following September 1st, 2022. Now they're showing only 10 people are online still. That's 10 people who don't get to play their game. They note that the most recent game on the list is Space Junkies, which they said the game will no longer be available at all. And that launched as recently as 2019 as a VR multiplayer title. So it's not only, 10, 15-year-old games that are at stake. It's games that are newer that just maybe aren't doing as well. Regardless if that's a game that you love or not, to them, it's not worth keeping up. They've got bigger, better things to do than to cater to you. But why are some people calling this a call to piracy? So to answer that question, we're heading over to Twitter, where all the drama goes down. And the general feeling on Twitter, like you can see here, man, I love when massive corporations take away a game I paid full price for, casually making a tweet about it, and then turning off comments on said tweet. Reason 1 million not to buy from Ubisoft. Damn near feels illegal. Now, apparently, Ubisoft told people about this in a tweet and then turned off comments so they didn't have to read it or deal with any of the consequences of their actions. That seems very anti-customer to me. But what can you do? I've seen some people suggest create a legislation to fight against this kind of thing, and I don't know if that's the right answer. Personally, I'm not someone into creating restrictive laws. I'm more about freedom, and I would vote with my dollar rather than force somebody into doing the right thing. But let's find out about the piracy thing. This person here. All that needed to be said regarding Ubisoft. Long live piracy. So as you can see, some people are starting to advocate piracy. Andrew here says, I'm going to be a pirate, thanks Ubisoft. Then you got old Captain Jack Sparrow doing his thing, right? Being a pirate. The Fresh Milkman. To be completely honest, if these online store bought games keep getting removed, the only viable option is to pirate the games or go console and physical. Now that's getting to the heart of the matter. It feels like companies have the right to give it and take it away as they please. And this feels like being stolen from. So I think that people's reaction to this is to take back what they bought. And if that means pirating the game that they've already bought, so be it. You know, as a retro gamer, I have no problem getting a game, let's say like a Super Mario Brothers ROM, because that's a game I have bought over and over and over again. I have several NES cartridges in my collection, among the many times I've bought the game through different devices. So how many times are we going to have to buy these games over and over again if we want to enjoy them? Now we're coming up to a place where we cannot enjoy the games that we've bought at all because the access to them is being stripped away slowly. And personally, I just feel this is a slippery slope to go on. And the only way we're going to be able to fight this kind of thing is with our dollar. Why give money to companies who don't respect you? It's that simple. However, I do know that Ubisoft is a company that makes some great games. I really enjoyed the South Park games. I have a weird penchant for the game Watch Dogs and all of its sequels. I like that for some reason, which is all the more reason why it kind of hurts a little to see these type of things being taken away. But what do you guys think? What is the solution here? Maybe as a community, we can all come up with something that would be helpful to everyone, to the game companies and to us, the consumer. Hit us up with your knowledge in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a like. If you dislike it, let me know. We'll make less like this. We have a ton of videos on this channel, all related to gaming of some kind. So go ahead and give those a watch. Share this if you find it useful. And with that said, see you soon.